So what do you guys know about Bigfoot as we get going? I see you guys in the chat. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Just hanging out, doing what we do. And Bigfoot. And so tonight we got a hybrid of a show. So not just we got Derek the Night Stalker on. We'll say hi to him in just a moment here. But also we're going to do sort of that round robin that we did. If anybody wants to pop in here and talk about Bigfoot and whether you believe it or not, or what do you think, all the rest of this stuff, StreamYard is up. I'll drop the link in the chat in a moment and you guys can pop in. So what we'll do is we'll set like a 10-minute timer. Okay. Somebody pops in. I'm going to have to keep track of the time here. I got a stopwatch. I'll pull one up on my phone. So what we'll do is we'll do like a 10-minute timer. So you pop in, you get 10 minutes, you get to hang out with Derek and I and talk about whatever's going on with Bigfoot and the rest of this stuff. And then basically you're out, right? In and out. And if somebody comes behind you, then you're out. Anyway, you'll see. Egg timer. There you go. Here we go. Egg timer coming up. What's up? I see you guys in the chat. Hope everybody's well tonight. Like I said, we're trying to work this out and get the right format for sort of a group conversation in this aspect. And tonight we'll do it with Bigfoot because why the hell not? And without making him wait any longer, good morning, Derek. Derek the Night Stalker. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Yep. Going on, brother?
Chilling, doing the thing, man. Lots of Bigfoot happening in the Zeitgeist. Still feeling it. Still feeling the Bigfoot thing. You think there's something afoot here?
Oh yeah, whole lot of big. Huh?
I was trying to make a bad joke. Something afoot here, a Bigfoot here. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm just stupid.
No. That was a good joke. I'm just still just waking up. But there's You're right that there's usually kind of an uptick here when kind of camping season starts. People start going out into the woods and everything, so they start to put the eyes on the most famous kind of woodland cryptid creature and everything. But this year especially seems to be an uptick in weird stories that we'll get to. But this year seems to be kind of a weird one. Maybe some maybe manifestation stuff happening, or potentially something trying to, like, the wild man archetype kind of creeping up behind us a little bit, and it's kind of coming out in the media and all kinds of weird stories. But yeah, bring your Bigfoot takes. We can talk some wild Bigfoot stuff tonight, and I'm looking forward to it, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being part of it. So I'm dropping the StreamYard's going to get going the thing. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll just set a timer to make sure we don't. What I didn't like about the last time we did this and kind of just had a group chat about all the things is that a lot of people talked and a lot of people sat there, and was really my fear about the entire thing. I want to include everybody. So to do that, we'll just kind of set timers and basically look. If you're like, well, I have more to say. Well, that's cool. So you're out in 10 minutes. Get back in line. Put your hand back up, and then we'll just cycle you back through. You see what I mean? So that way we're not kind of talking over each other. There's not too many people waiting on tenterhooks or, a little intimidated to kind of jump into, a chat where there's 10 people sitting there waiting to say something. I mean, it's a little bit goofy. So we're going to do it that way. And we got Daryl popping in. So we won't start the timer on Daryl just yet till we actually get going here, till we say something. So, okay, so let's begin first. So hang tight, Daryl. You are first as part of this, dropping the stuff in if anybody wants to be part of this. Phone line is up, Discord is up, all the rest. So everything counts. And let me grab my timer here, and we'll start it when Daryl first says something. Hang tight, Daryl. So Derek, go ahead. Let's begin with. So you did some research recently, kind of looking at the Zeitgeist and how this. Once again, I'm calling this Bigfoot hibernation cycles because why not, right? But cryptids crashing the Zeitgeist is probably more apt. Now you noticed something, and so what's happening with that? Go ahead and get us kicked off with that, and then we'll get to Daryl in a moment here and keep on trucking. Go right ahead, sir.
All right, let me access my notes here. Okay, so the way this kind of happened for me, synchro-wise, and I'm going to include a bunch of kind of random articles here, like a bunch of the listicle type articles, kind of just craziest Bigfoot things that ever happened or whatever, just a random kind of filler within the Zeitgeist that kind of going to add to it. But it started with more being these kind of things just happened organically. I didn't know that there was a movie coming out and all this kind of stuff. So I do a giant statue Google News search probably once a week to see if there's any like kind of crazy giant Titan statues that are coming out recently, and there's just been a ton of them. It's just been something I've been tracking for the last year, and there's not easily like 30 probably in my notes at least. A bunch of, like, every concert seems like there's another giant statue and stuff. So that happened with the Bigfoot thing. There was 3 Bigfoot giant statues within the last couple of weeks. One is in Ohio, just from Wayne.com, just a local news site. Giant wooden sculpture takes over Mercer County Fairgrounds. And I don't know if you have the pictures, Mike, from the chat of these like giant statue things or whatever. This would be one of the last thing I sent.
Yeah, I'll pull them up. So as you're going, okay. I'll be I'm working behind the scenes here. So yeah, go ahead. I'll pull that up.
All right. Yeah. So this is the first thing I found, but the last thing I sent. And then in Washington, again, this is in the last like week or two, the 1,500-pound Sasquatch. Bigfoot comes to life in woods near Maine. This is a giant, like this big giant 1,500 foot. It's a real kind of like intimidating looking Sasquatch figure. 1,500 pounds. And then in Nebraska, father and son welders create giant metal Sasquatch statue, all within 2-3 weeks of each other. So like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, what's going on with the Sasquatch stuff? So then I kind of try to broaden my Bigfoot Sasquatch searches a little bit, and we get this story. Again, from last week. Man found guilty of murdering friend he thought had summoned Bigfoot, from the local news site. From Fox News. Oklahoma fisherman believed friend was going to sacrifice him to Bigfoot. So there's a big like murder case. It's like some of the articles kind of were like, crazy meth addict attacked his friends when they were fishing or something like that, and blamed it on Bigfoot, basically. That the friend the two fishermen murdered the other, and the one that did the murdering said he did it to protect himself from his friend who was trying to summon Bigfoot at him to like sacrifice him to Bigfoot, to like honor the Bigfoot. And I'm like, geez Louise, that's pretty crazy. And I don't know if you want to like get into each of these things, like why it's kind of creepy, but like, or just me just rattle through these stories real quick. Mike,
yeah. So pick again, just kind of go through the sync, I guess, as part of the discussion here, yeah. and I'll just pull up those as you're going and kind of pull these up and put them on the screen here. So basically, we're talking about the synchronicity of not just, let's say, Bigfoot. So basically, gangbusters on the Zeitgeist and the news cycles as usual, which happens this time of year. But also, it seems like there's something a little bit more to it. So yeah, go ahead and rattle through some of this stuff. We'll kind of get a nice base started. Then we'll get to Daryl, and then we'll just start talking Bigfoot. Go right ahead.
Okay. So, and with the synchronicities, they might seem, I mean, these are very directly correlated because they're all Bigfoot related. But when you're looking for these things popping up in the Zeitgeist, they're going to come in all different branches of culture, pop culture, news stories. Not in this case, but a lot of times like NASA stuff or space stuff in some cases. But just different disparate things around the Zeitgeist. They're all kind of have the same theme and stuff. And right now, especially the last like week or two, it's been just Bigfoot. Including some weird murder trial that just ended involving, quote, summoning Bigfoot and sacrifice to Bigfoot. Like, the Bigfoot summoning is a weird thing, and we didn't talk about it much when we were covering on the show all the UFO summoning stuff a lot. But when I was forming those notes, this was like 2 or 3 years ago at this point, there were, so with the Corbell or summoners and with like Stephen Greer and all the stuff, and with like, there's also quote unquote Bigfoot summoners in Maine that had articles at the same time period, and in California. So like summoning Bigfoot the same way you would summon a UFO is out there. Not as popular, obviously, but people run tours and do the same kind of thing. So kind of ultra terrestrial Bigfoot style is kind of the vibe I'm getting right there. And then the biggest one, there's a movie in theaters right now with Jesse Eisenberg, Sasquatch Sunset, and it's like it's a small movie. It's playing not in wide release, but not a crazy rollout. But it's getting like pretty good reviews. It's just a kind of a weird mockumentary type thing, day in the life of Bigfoot, where they follow like Jesse Eisenberg and the other actor around, like fully dressed as Bigfoot. There's no words in the entire movie, and I guess it's like real gross. It's real kind of like scatological kind of, but there's just all kind of articles about that, about the Sasquatch Sunset, and just from USA Today. So like I called this headline magic when I made my post about it earlier. Headline magic, the idea of just keeping these things in the head, like whether some of these articles are going to be like Bigfoots aren't real, or some of them will be like vampire Bigfoot and stuff. But the idea is kind of to use almost like a sigil magic type template to put this thing potentially put this thing in the subconscious of everyone. Headline magic. So USA Today, Sasquatch Sunset, Jesse Eisenberg's Bigfoot, and possibly the strangest movie ever made. From New York Times. Oh, so there's two weird marketing campaigns with this movie. One of them from New York Times. Thursday in the Park with Bigfoot, a publicity effort for the movie Sasquatch Sunset had one of the film's cast members in full Sasquatch costume wandering through Central Park. So one of these weird kind of, the way like the movie Smile had those like weird, creepy smiling people behind home plate of the multiple baseball games to promote the movie. Weird kind of ritualistic type marketing campaigns, depending on how you look at it. For this, they did a person dressed up as Sasquatch walking around Central Park in New York City. I mean, I doubt everyone knew that there was for a movie promotion for a very, very tiny movie. I certainly wouldn't have known. And I'm into Bigfoot. From Hollywood Reporter, this is like a separate campaign. Jesse Eisenberg hosts Sasquatch Sunset screening for apes. Quote, the bonobos were very curious. He had some apes watch the movie at a zoo. Slightly correlated, different movie, bonus weird campaign. The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is coming out next week, which aren't Bigfoot, but I mean, giant, sentient, smart ape man. From Collider, apes take over San Francisco in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes marketing campaign. Again, with a bunch of kind of crazy, wild, hairy ape men running around San Francisco, I think. And then this was all within the last like week or two. That's what made it stick out to me. And then we had a new study. This is from a bunch of places. A new study in the Journal of Zoology says Sasquatch sightings are most likely just bears. So being like Sasquatch, Sasquatch, Sasquatch. Oh, by the way, if you see it, it's probably just a bear. Which under the right connotation is kind of weird. Magical, kind of push and pull your, like kind of mess with your brain a little bit. Just can keep going. There's more articles from the last few weeks. What's the deal about Bigfoot? Just a random Bigfoot article from magazine.columbia. The 5 most ridiculous things blamed on Bigfoot from Cracked. Daily Star just going wild with it. It's all from like the last like 3 or 4 days. Wild Bigfoot theories from evolved ancient apes to aliens bonking humans. This different article. Bigfoot-like beasts around the world from aggressive to monkey-like monsters. So just Littlefoot stuff. So just all different types of Bigfoot. Small ones, little ones. Vampire Bigfoot drank blood of animals found dead in the woods as warning. This is a documentary filmmaker. The Mirror ran the same one. Bigfoot drinks blood of animals and leaves carcasses as warning, filmmaker claims. So this is like a new documentary where the kind of bloodthirsty Bigfoot is the theme of it in this case. Just from Vice, I tracked America's cryptid obsession from Bigfoot to sentient pants. Being like the hunt for the desire to find kind of this ancient other, this constant capital O other has always been out there, and kind of how a different like how this Bigfoot is like a modern American mythology a little bit, and tracking that. More Bigfoot. From Fox News, Washington sheriff receives bizarre Sasquatch call from a curious hunter. The out-of-town huntsman inquired about the legality of hunting Sasquatch, and according to crazy, right?
Do I go to jail if I shoot him?
Yeah, it's so crazy. And I didn't even like read I didn't get deep into most of these articles, but I assumed the answer was yes. But I think Coach Chisel, or maybe it was OG Skywatch, I forget. Somebody in the chat 5 minutes ago said that it's actually illegal to do it in Washington. So good thing he checked. He could have, if he found him, he could have had a bad day for himself, you know. Missouri, this is from KSIS radio. Missouri, honestly, like what I've noticed is that local radio stations, non-paranormal, they love running with these kind of Bigfoot or weird paranormal like articles. It's a weird thing I noticed. But Missouri man claims he recorded Bigfoot and he's got audio proof. So just a few different like kind of proof type articles, just Bigfoot sighting stuff, classic stuff. Several articles. Do you believe in Sasquatch? One new St. John's County school sure does. So a new elementary school in Florida just picked their mascot, and it's like a big smiling Sasquatch. Weirdly, it's in the city of St. Augustine for the Roswell lore that takes place in the plains of San Augustine, which is St. Augustine. In biblical history or in religious history, St. Augustine is somebody who chronicles ultra-terrestrials, basically. He chronicles and labels and like charts out different like different entities, basically, like the daemons of the air. He calls them a lot, but like talks about weird entities. And this place named the school up there, hairy ultra-terrestrial. So I don't know. That's basically it. But it's kind of a lot of stuff for just a week and a half, and I don't think it's correlated to the movie because it's kind of a small movie, and they're not really none of the articles talking about the fact that it was a Sasquatch Sunset was in theaters and stuff. And this was like 3 or 4 days ago. If you look right now, there's a bunch more of like every state has their Bigfoot convention happening in a couple of weeks. So those articles kind of are muddying up the works. But the weird summoning Bigfoot, sacrifice to Bigfoot court case that was all over the media this week. There's a movie playing in theaters right now that you can go see, and then just an avalanche of like fans and weird articles and just I don't know. It seems like it's a weird amount of Bigfoot stuff. So, what do you guys think? Why? Why is that the case? And what is Bigfoot? What's happening? My take is kind of like either are they trying to get us to manifest like the way that this phenomenon needs a form, and our form is our kind of way we shape that form with our thoughts, or is something trying to form itself right now in the season as this wild ape man, or is it like that archetype kind of creeping up every season, and that's what's. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But
yeah, a lot of ways. Yeah, a lot of ways to look at this and consider this. So as we start, and great stuff. Thanks, Derek, for doing a ton of the research on this and having all these amazing links ready to go. So I will have all the screenshots. We'll roll through these. So if you want to check the headlines, please do double check this stuff because it's not made up. Is the point. But so the question as we begin is exactly this: do you believe Bigfoot is real? Okay. Yeah. And if no, that's fine. Let's do the thought tree here. Okay, so do you believe Bigfoot is real? If you say no, okay, then why is everybody always talking about it again in a cycle in this spring season? There's some obvious reasons, but there may be some non-obvious reasons as well. And of course, back to the top, do you believe in Bigfoot? Yes. Then okay, so what is it? And not only that, what is it? And again, so it's not a new thing. This is a lot of the legends go back hundreds of years as far as we can tell, maybe even further than that, depending on which traditions you go to around the world, the Yeti and some of these other things, right? So I mean, who really knows? So what is it, right? The skunk ape, all the rest of this stuff, I don't know.